Tom, yesterday Dana White came out and said on Piers Morgan that he needs to have a conversation with you and that relationship kind of needs to be slightly amended. I guess, yeah, from your perspective, are you going to be speaking to Dana White at some point soon, especially with this move with Eddie Hearn?
You can call me anytime, mate. My phone is always available if you want to call.
And in terms of the White House main event, John Jones, Alex Pereira looking likely, I guess, as heavyweight champion of the world. Is that something you'll be taking a good interest in?
Yeah, I mean, it's an exciting fight, isn't it? I think everyone will want to see that. I think it's a good, interesting fight. We don't know if it's going to happen yet, but it does, like you say, it does look that way. So I'll be tuning in for sure.
Tom, how have the last couple of months been for you in general? Obviously, serious injury after your last fight. How have these last months been for you?
It's been tough, I ain't going to lie. It's been a tough time for me. Being unable to... I mean, the toughest thing for me isn't even the fighting stuff. It's been like, I've been out of my routine, I've not been able to train, I've not been able to do nothing. But now things are getting better. And I'm back in the gym a little bit. Still can't do everything that I want to do. Still can't fight, still can't spar, but we're getting towards that point, so I feel a lot better these days.
Has this been a kind of serious up point from the last few months, this agreement with Eddie Hearn and Matchroom Talent Agency? Has this been a kind of a better point of the last couple of months?
This has been the highlight in the last couple of months, yeah. I mean, recovering from surgery is not very fun. So, yeah, it's been good. Me speaking to Eddie, speaking to the rest of the team, getting a decent understanding of each other, and looking forward to the future is positive.
Tom, do you have any concerns about, obviously, with what's been going on with Eddie and Dana, that you might get caught in the middle of that and Dana might not be as kind of forthcoming with opportunities or what have you because they're having their own back and forth?
Well, I wanted to make sure to Eddie, and I've heard Eddie say a couple of times with the media and stuff today, I didn't want to be a pawn in his fight or something like that. And I said in a more explicit way that that's not what I wanted. I didn't want to be involved in that at all. But when I sat around with Eddie and Frank and the rest of the team, my team as well, they explained to me properly what they want to do. We were literally together for a full day, and we explained the ins and outs of everything. And I'm at a point in my career where I don't have to sign anything. I don't have to do anything that I don't want to do. And I obviously was happy because I signed a contract, and myself and Matchroom will be moving forward together. I'm very happy with it.
Tom, a lot was said up there about maximising your position commercially. Now, I think it's fair to say that a move to boxing would be up there with one of the most commercially lucrative moves for you. I know you're under contract with the UFC as it stands, but did that come into the thinking in linking up with Matchroom in this capacity, that if a move to boxing was to materialise down the line, that you'd be better placed to do it?
I'm not really thinking about boxing right now, to be honest with you. I know that, like, your guys' job is the media, and you want to make it look like that's what's happening. And I was aware when I signed with Eddie that that's what's going to happen, is the media's going to try and push me down this road of, I've done this for boxing. That is not the case. I have unfinished business with the UFC, and I want to do that before I even think about boxing.
And just away from yourself, what do you make of the fight between Alexander Usyk and Rico Verhoeven?
I mean, I think Rico's getting wrote off.
Did you come across him with Peter Fury's gym?
Listen, I've been training with Rico for the last 10 years, so I'm obviously pretty Rico biased. Rico's a good friend of mine, but he's a big man. He's had a lot of fights. Fair enough, they're fighting a different sport, but he can, like, if he hits him, it could be over. Do I think that Rico's a better boxer than Usyk? Absolutely not. I'm not saying that at all. But I think that he's getting wrote off, and he's definitely got a chance of winning.
Tom, do you expect to see more UFC fighters come out in support of sort of fighter pay and that whole conversation with Conor Benn and Zuffa Boxing, seemingly purses being much more inflated than in the UFC? Do you expect more guys from the UFC to come out and talk on that?
I don't know, because I don't know what complaining about it's going to do. And I'm not against the guys. Like, if you feel passionate about something, you absolutely should stand up for what you believe in and say it. So if they feel like they're not getting paid enough, then absolutely say it, but they also need to do something about it. Like I said before when I was on the stage, we're all locked into a contract. We all knew what contract we were signing up for when we signed the contracts, me being one of them. Do I think that I can be paid more? Absolutely. That's why I've signed with Eddie and Matchroom, because I feel like my potential of earning is way higher than what I'm getting paid for fighting, so that's why I'm with Matchroom.
Tom, just a quick question from me, really. Obviously, you've signed with Eddie Hearn's talent agency. What can this deal with Eddie Hearn do for your next part of your career, and how much of a positive impact Eddie Hearn can be for you in the long term?
Well, I won't work with anyone that I don't like, so I'll start by saying I like Eddie. Frank Smith, who's like the silent assassin around here, doesn't get enough credit in my opinion. Frank is also a top guy. I think that it's going to be good, which is why I've signed it. Like, I'm aware that this is a risky move, and I wouldn't have signed my name on the dotted line me something that I can't really refuse, and I trust him. That's the main thing. I trust Eddie, I trust Frank, I trust Matchroom, and hopefully they trust me and we can move forward together really well.
And also, I just want to ask, in terms of that deal with Eddie Hearn as well, what can this do for MMA in Britain? As obviously you're the big star in the UFC now. Do you think this is going to open the door for other MMA fighters to join you and Eddie Hearn's talent agency?
I hope so. Listen, that's not my job. My job isn't to sign fighters and recruit fighters or anything like that. But there is more money to be made outside the octagon, and I don't think enough fighters are exploring that. Everybody's got their own manager, everyone's got their own relationship, everyone's got their own loyalties and everything like that. But for my personal career, I want to take it as far as I can and maximise it as much as I can. And me working with Matchroom, I think I'm maximising that.
Tom, while you're here, fighters like Paddy Pimblett have been very open about mental health, especially sharing their struggles online and after fights. Do you feel that there is more? Do you feel that there is room for more open conversations like this in MMA, boxing, and just sports in general?
I think so. The thing is, I can only speak for MMA. I don't know about boxing because I'm not involved with boxing. But with MMA, we have a lot of toxic fans. Anytime that you want to say something negative, everyone's just like, stop crying. And it's like, well, sometimes I'm a human being as well. Like, I can express how I feel publicly. And I think there is a bit of a stigma, like, as MMA fighters or as combat sports athletes, we have to be some, like, macho guy who doesn't feel anything. And that, we're human beings, you know what I mean? If you want to say something that you feel, you should be free to say it. And if someone wants to complain about saying the way you feel, then you're an idiot, in my opinion.
Tom,
Thank you so much.
Tom, are you obviously you mentioned kind of you're still a long way out from kind of getting back into the octagon, but do you have any potential opponents on who you want to defend your title against next?
Just whoever we can work out. Obviously, the Cyril Gann rematch is where the first thing that I want to do, because that's unfinished business. I want that fight more than anything. But if there's another fight, you know, the UFC can say whatever they want. One thing that they can't say is that I turn down fights. I ain't never turned down a fight in my life, my whole career, and I'm not going to start now. So when I'm ready, I'll let the UFC know. My dad will let the UFC know. Eddie will let the UFC know now, and we'll take whoever they give us.
Tom, on that relationship with Dana, when he came out and spoke about your eye injuries at that press conference, I mean, you've been a long-time UFC fan. A lot of fans in the UFC are saying that he doesn't quite have the passion he once did for the sport. Is that, as a fighter, something you pick up on, that maybe at the presses he's not quite as excited as he once used to be?
It's hard for me to say because I don't really have a relationship with Dana. As far as I'm aware, a lot of active fighters right now don't deal with Dana directly. They deal with another guy called Hunter. So I don't really know what gets fed to Dana in terms of information and stuff. That's none of my business. As far as passion in the sport's doing really well. So I think maybe it's natural to lose a bit of passion, but I still think he's a passionate guy about the sport for sure. I don't think he's checked out or anything like that.
Tom, what's the general feeling around UFC fighters about Zuffa boxing? What do you all think about it?
I can't speak for other people, but I think it's quite healthy in terms of anytime there's like decent competition in combat sports, it's healthy. When there's like one promotion, whether it's UFC or a boxing promotion or whatever, that's just got the monopoly of all the fighters, I think that's not good for anybody, because then you have to bow down to that one promotion. So I think that it's healthy across all combat sports that, you know, Zuffa's involved and whoever else is involved. I think it's good competition.
Dana was trying to make a lot of changes to the Ali Act, but one change he didn't make was he didn't want to include MMA fighters into that. Did that bother you at all, that he's making all these changes for boxing, but he's not kind of bothered about MMA?
Oh, to be honest, I've heard that the Ali Act phrase been thrown around a few times. I don't really know what it is, to be honest, so I can't really answer it. All good?
All good. Cheers, Tom.
Cheers, thank you.